Welcome to another episode of the Force Dive Podcast. Wherever, whenever, and however you may be listening, we are honored that you've joined us. On today's episode, we're going to do a Kenobi trailer reaction, discuss some of the things that have us really excited, maybe dip our toe into the ongoing controversy surrounding the Grand Inquisitor, and discuss some other news that's come out in the last week or so regarding some script writing. That and a little bit more. Sit back and relax. This is where the fun begins.
The Force is what gives the Jedi his power.
Why is the Force connecting us?
I am a Jedi.
Always two there are. We're a dyad in the Force.
And welcome to episode 24. Force Dive Podcast is back. Jedi John here, along with, you already heard him once.
Obi-Shawn.
Obi-Shawn is out there. You don't want me to give you a title this time?
No, I don't want a title this week.
That's fair. That's fair. Really excited tonight talking about Obi-Wan. Trailer came out a couple weeks ago now. Mm-hmm. Pretty stoked. The music alone just brings you right in. Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, it's March. Mm-hmm. There's this thing that's happening in the world for
those of you who watch sports.
For those of you that watch sports, yeah. But March Madness starts this week.
How's your bracket?
Well, you see, I didn't really do one this year, which I'm happy about because I'd probably be really disappointed right now. So
you didn't even play one for fun?
No, I didn't get into it. I mean, I don't know. I've had a couple busy weeks. I just haven't really had time to look at it and didn't do one this year. You?
Yeah, so my work does this thing. It's actually really cool because my parent company is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, so Uncle Warren likes to throw around his gajillions of dollars. And so my parent company runs a special March Madness deal where it's obviously free to enter. And the employee who has the perfect bracket the longest, wins, I think it's 10 grand. Now, if you manage to make it the first 16, so if you make it through Thursday and Friday and you're perfect, that's $100,000. And then if somehow you make it through Saturday and Sunday and you get the Sweet 16 perfect, which again, we all know, those of us who've done these brackets, will never happen.
It's very, very difficult.
Especially this year. This year's been crazy. You get $1 million annuity that pays you for the rest of your life. $1 million every year for the rest of your life. So naturally I took part and I lost the first game. So Colorado State losing to Michigan was the first game on Thursday, and I almost picked the Wolverines, but I decided to go with I think they're the Rams, or I don't know. They lost.
Yeah.
And my hopes were dashed. Surprisingly, somebody, the winning bracket, made it through to like halfway through Friday. Like that was. Now, I don't know where they eventually lost, but their perfect bracket made it through like first half.
That's the winner of the 10 grand?
Correct.
Because nobody made it past that?
Correct. And now that person, depending on, they stopped tracking. There's this really cool online thing where they put in really funny puns and stuff like that for so for example, when Richmond beat Iowa, that was where I would have lost had Michigan not lost game one. They said like, the Hawkeyes get caught in the spider web because Richmond are the spiders. And so anyway, so I don't know where this person ended up. I don't know if they made it to the 100,000 or not, but they picked St. Peter's.
That's pretty crazy.
Or presumably. Now they did change the rules where, because of all the upsets over the last few years, if a 1 or a 2 did lose, your bracket technically didn't get crushed for the prize, but for the 100,000 it did. But when they got to the end, they're like, oh, we'll see how far the bracket goes. Means that they pick St. Peter's to beat Kentucky. So hopefully they pick St. Peter's to beat whoever they played last night. I forget, but
pretty insane stuff there.
Yeah. So my Final Four is still intact.
Oh, congratulations!
I've got Duke, Zona, Kansas, and Purdue is my top 4. So Purdue's playing Texas right now. So I don't know. They were up by like 6 before I left to come over here. So
should be interesting.
I'm hoping. I got Duke and Kansas in the final. I figure Coach K is going to get.
Oh, he wanted his last one.
The final send-off, the win one for the Gipper.
He's got a shot.
Yeah, they beat Michigan State today, so that was cool to see. It's been fun to watch, especially all these lower seeds making it. So
like I said, it's been a little crazy this year.
But I think some of the seedings are a bit, well, they're definitely off. I mean, Michigan is 11. I think last year they were a Sweet 16 team. So, and Gonzaga being a number 1, I will never understand. They play nobody, literally nobody, except St. Mary's like 4 times a year. So, anyways.
Basketball.
You should have made a bracket.
Basketball.
We should have done a bracket just between the two of us.
We should have. About that. It would have been fun. I mean, I don't know. I usually get into it and I usually make a bracket, but this year I just busy, man. Mm-hmm. And last week was especially busy. Wife's cousin got married, so we had a lot of other commitments going on last week, and work. I had a couple work meetings that were out of the ordinary for me, plus visits that were out of the ordinary also. So it was just a busy week overall.
Well, I understand. So, I mean, we're planning. My son's 3rd birthday is Friday, so my wife's been hard at work making decorations and using her. She's got one of those Cricuts and has been cutting out a bunch of Cars decorations. Lightning McQueen's, Tomators, all out of construction paper and stuff. She's made a few Route 66 centerpieces and stuff like that. So he's got a Cars themed birthday. So very excited for that. That's on Friday. So a lot of excitement.
Yeah, lots of excitement.
And the weather's great.
The weather's been great in Missouri for all of those. I don't know where we're located. But yeah. Missouri's been pretty nice this weekend.
We're almost in. I think we're. Well, spring starts this week.
Knock on some wood somewhere.
Officially, so hopefully we're done with winter for the most part, because I really need to get my golf game going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially you with your reconstructed shoulder.
Yeah.
Have you swung a golf club yet?
No, but I'm going to on Thursday or Friday. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, golf trip.
Going to the Ozarks, right?
Yeah, should be a good time.
Don't. If you see Jason Bateman,
just
turn the other way.
I probably will. No, I'll be excited to get down there though, because I haven't swung a club yet, and I need to. Mm-hmm. It should feel good. I'm thinking. I mean, we went bowling last week. That worked out okay. So
for one of us.
Well, yeah.
And wasn't me.
Yeah, first week back bowling was good. So the Vader shoulder is going strong right now.
You've been modded.
I've been modded. Yeah.
When are you gonna get your cool Vespa?
Oh, I don't know. That's not.
What color did you pick?
Blue is for the best, I think.
Okay. Well, speaking of fun Star Wars stuff, shall we just dive into our main talking point tonight?
Yeah, let's hit it. Kenobi Trail launched.
Yes.
And it launched big.
I didn't know it was coming. Did you know it was coming?
I thought it was. We thought it was coming during Super Bowl.
Yes.
But we didn't get it.
Correct. And I had seen the EW, the Entertainment Weekly stuff was all over Twitter like that morning, because they did the first look with the cover with Ewan, and I was losing my mind over just pictures, and then about an hour after I saw that, the trailer dropped, and clearly it was coordinated. It had to have been coordinated.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so we'll spare the recap. We're obviously not gonna go through the video. If you haven't seen it yet,
can we just go shot by shot real quick? We just no.
Yes. If you haven't seen it,
what are you doing?
Please go watch it.
I mean, what are you doing if you haven't seen it?
Watch it on repeat.
If you're listening to a Star Wars podcast and you've not seen this trailer,
maybe they don't know. Maybe they gave up social media for Lent.
Ooh, good for you.
Okay.
How's that going?
My wife did. My wife gave up Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff.
Good for people who can do that.
So if you happen to give up social media for Lent and you don't know what's going on, please go watch it. But for those who have, we'll spare you the recap and just kind of dive into. First, let's talk about the exciting stuff that we saw.
Ooh.
I mean, there's tons.
The exciting stuff that we saw. I mean, just watching the intro with the music hit, the Duel of Fates, like hit right there, right away. You're like, yeah, I'm already into this. Like right away. Like, okay, I'm ready. Let's bring it. Got to see the Inquisitor. Got to see some young Luke.
That was cool.
I did not
expect that.
Neither did I. Fun to see. Hopefully they're way nicer to that kid than they were
Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that's the kid from Turbo Time. No, I'm just kidding. That's
that's
Jingle All the Way.
That's young Anakin. Yeah.
No, young Anakin.
Well, I was gonna say, I watching the trailer, they make it seem like he's a lot closer to Luke, to Lars Homestead than I would have initially anticipated.
Yeah, he is right on top of him, to be honest.
I thought he was beyond the Dune Sea. But anyways, yeah, going into the Duel of Fates, I got goosebumps, as I'm sure many people who watched it did. And I have to admit, the first time I saw it, I thought the Grand Inquisitor was Vader without his helmet on. Because they just scan real quick and you see the white head, the white face. Then obviously later on, have he's got the helicopter blade and
which looks awesome.
which looks fantastic.
They did that really well.
I hope I hope the speed is practical and not kind of like added in post as far as like how fast that spins.
It looked really good though.
It did look fantastic. I mean, we got at least the inside, well, the exterior and then the inside of the Inquisitorius 2, which I'm super excited to get more of.
Who doesn't want another ship in live action and everything too?
Yes. And then again, with Uncle Owen, I'm really excited to
He looked good.
get more of him.
Yeah, he looked good though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they did a good job, like making sure that he looked pretty accurate with the continuity of episode 3 when we last saw him.
Yeah, and if the trailer is any indication of what he is having to deal with in trying to keep his nephew protected, along with, I'm going to guess that there's some sort of interaction, not direct perhaps, between Owen and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he knows he's there.
Right.
He has to.
So that, like, I can understand why he withers or becomes, looks the way he does in A New Hope, and how seeing what the Inquisitors do and will do, how he just wants to distance Luke as much as possible from that life, from Obi-Wan himself, most likely, why he wants to keep him hidden, and then keep him turned kind of away from, Obi-Wan says, your uncle didn't want you to have this is your father's lightsaber, your uncle didn't want you to have it. Well, there's a reason for that, because he's about to see what the Inquisitors are doing or will do to any Jedi that they find. And so I would expect that we'll probably see, what do you think, maybe one more trailer?
I'd expect one more.
So
as long as it's not like they did with Boba Fett, which was new trailer.
With
5 seconds is new.
Exactly. It's just a rehash of everything we'd seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I necessarily mind that to an extent, but I wouldn't, like, I'm firmly expecting there to be multiple Jedi in the show. Obi-Wan can't be the only Jedi that they're seeking. And we don't even know that that's who the Inquisitors are actually after.
Right.
Like, it's very possible that they might know that they might be after Luke. They might have sensed, maybe Luke did something without even knowing, of course, just kind of...
Because he's powerful.
Right, because, he's force sensitive. So maybe he did something without knowing, and then the Inquisitors feel it, because it's unlikely that Obi-Wan's going to be just out there willy-nilly throwing the force around and drawing the Inquisitors in. Now, maybe the other Jedi? Perhaps, but I don't know. It would be an interesting twist if it was actually Luke who triggers the response from the Inquisitors to Tatooine. Again, total accident, but that would actually trigger, set in motion all of the stuff.
All it takes is one report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just that one sort of break, that one sense through the ethos, through the Force. And so it was really cool seeing, it's Reva, I think Reva is the named Inquisitor. Obviously, we get the fifth brother along with the GI. And I don't think that there were any other like known
notable characters.
Correct.
Like that. Yeah, we saw Lars and we saw Luke.
Yeah, Uncle Owen and then
Owen. Yeah, Owen Lars.
Lars, and then young Luke pretending to race a pod.
Clearly,
just like his dad.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to know if there's much tie back to Luke from Owen, Owen Beru. If there's any sort of, hey, your dad was a pod racer, or like they find. I don't know. I'm curious how much.
I doubt we're going to see a whole lot of him
of
show.
Luke.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot. I mean, he's going to be there obviously, but I don't
Right.
think we're going to spend a whole lot of time.
I mean, it is Kenobi's show, but we did see what happened with Boba Fett. I mean, it could be the Luke and Inquisitor show.
I mean, I personally hope Disney does not go. We want to make a young Luke show next, so get Luke going.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
We don't need that.
I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, granted we haven't had a ton of Star Wars shows, but as the trailer goes, just amazing. Just blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
You throw in the Battle of Heroes at the end with the voice.
The music makes it. The music
and
makes
you get
it.
Vader's. and then the light up of this, the saber sound lighting up. I mean, it's just, and you kind of get that, you got the sandy, wispy dust effects on the logo and everything like that. So, no joke, I probably watched that trailer 20 times.
I mean,
the ones
you
that
have
it
it
dropped.
memorized pretty much. Like, you have it memorized.
I even have the lines, most of the lines from the Grand Inquisitor memorized. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, well, kind of how just everything meshes. They have 6 episodes.
Yeah.
We're going to at least 2 different places. I forget the name of the new city that I believe the one of the production designers called it. It's kind of a take on like Hong Kong. It reminds me a lot of the underworld in Coruscant where Obi-Wan's offered death sticks. That's kind of what it reminded me of. But nevertheless, we're going to at least a couple different places. And from the trailer, we get to see, it looks like Obi-Wan firing a blaster. So it's kind of funny, the callback to...
So uncivilized.
Exactly. There's the last scene, or not the last scene, but one of the final scenes. It's just a quick, not even probably a second of tape where you've got the Jedi Order insignia scrawled onto the wall, and I believe it cuts to the Inquisitor Reva in an alleyway with somebody, and so it'll be interesting. Again, are there secret enclaves? Are there people just supportive of the Jedi that are doing stuff like this? Kind of like with the Mandos, how they had the what is it, the covert?
The coverts, yeah.
If there'll be like Jedi style coverts. If we do see other Jedi, which I think we will, I don't think that they'll be ones we've known or ones we've seen before outside of Kenobi. I don't think so. I don't know what you think about that.
I'm hoping they introduce Cal.
You think so?
This is where he could be.
Live action Cal Kestis.
It fits into the timeline.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
for sure. Because I don't know where Jedi Fallen Order 2 is supposed to take. I think it's supposed to take place a couple years after Jedi Fallen Order 1, which took place 5 years after Order 66. Yeah. So that would put it 8 years. This show is 10 years. The only thing I would be worried about if they did Cal, and the timeline for JFO 2 does take place then, obviously it's a video game, right? So there's no peril to the player, right? But I don't know. I wonder how that would affect the story within the video game.
No, that's fair. But yeah, no, it'd be exciting to see. I mean, there's a couple that we would love to see in this show up. We just don't know. Everyone's hoping for a few of them. Like there's a few that are just like, yeah, it could be Ezra, or it could be, but Ezra wouldn't. It'd be too early for him.
Could be Kanan. They could throw Kanan in
potentially, but again, like from where we meet Kanan, I mean, we could.
I don't know why he would be there.
There'd be no reason.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. The only one that would remotely make real sense is, well, maybe Ahsoka shows up for a day, because it's Ahsoka and she can do what she wants to do.
Because it's a Disney Plus show and you got to throw her in somewhere.
Yeah, throw Ahsoka in there. But yeah, it makes most sense for Cal to be still searching for other Jedi. So it'd be cool. I don't know, something cool. And he's had plenty of run-ins with the Inquisitors. So
because that's the thing. So when they get the holocron at the Jedi Fallen Order holocron, it's supposed to be all the Force-sensitive kids, right? Luke would have to be on that,
right?
So that would make sense. That would be kind of cool.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, he'd be the one that makes the most sense to actually bring into the fold.
Well, and they've already done the BD droid in Mando. They could easily put BD. They could easily have BD-1 be there. So that would be. And actually, I think speaking of BD-1, I believe there's a rumor that one of the Lego sets later this year is supposed to be one of the buildable BD-1s, kind of like the Dio, or not Dio. Oh yeah, it was Dio and BB-8, but having a BD-1. Which,
pretty sweet.
If that does turn out to be real, I will be buying one of those probably on release day. So
yeah, absolutely.
I love BD-1. So as I think many people do.
Well, anybody that play the game, anybody that play that game loves BD-1.
Right, yeah. I mean, the BD droids are next to your standard astromechs. I think they're the fan favorites. So
yeah, but pretty awesome. It'd be cool to see. Other than that, though, don't see really any other reason for other Jedi to show up unless they're in maybe Force Ghost. I keep hoping for Force Ghost Qui-Gon, but we'll see. But other than that, like maybe flashbacks or something like that. Because I have a feeling we're gonna get a few of those.
We're gonna get plenty of flashbacks. And the other thing that it would be interesting to see Jedi would be in the Inquisitorius being turned, so to speak. I mean, and maybe they don't hunt to consolidate, their ranks, or to bring in to the fold. But maybe they do.
I'm not gonna lie. Disney Plus just came out with all the new parental controls and stuff.
I saw that.
You know what that means.
We talked about that 2 episodes
We
ago.
are gonna get some rated R stuff like on Disney Plus eventually. Like they are gonna start pushing the limits with some of the franchises, I think, and I cannot wait.
I have a feeling that you're going to start with Marvel because there's much more. There's so much
more dark
Yeah,
material.
there's so much
they can
more.
use.
Grit and dinge. I mean, just watching the Moon Knight trailer.
Oh yeah,
looks.
yeah.
If they wanted to make it heavy, they could. So
Like literally, like I mean, we talked about it on the one Boba Fett recap. I couldn't believe we watched Mando chop a guy and a table in half, and then take his head off. Like, legitimately the darkest scene.
and then
we've
drop
seen.
it in the middle of in a bag in the middle of a table of somebody
like
eating dinner.
The darkest scene we've seen from Disney, like in Star Wars, that is. And I want more of it, and I think they can deliver now. If they have all these parental controls, like they can turn that stuff off for them. Anyway, that's my personal take. I think they're going to start heading towards some higher ratings for as far as watchability.
Yeah, and I mean, it as long as it's done in a way that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Not for
Right.
But
But like one of the biggest arguments right now that people are having for anything Star Wars related is, well, that doesn't fit my Star Wars, or but the other argument is Star Wars isn't made for us anymore. And I would unfortunately just
You mean us as in like the
35-year-old,
the traditional the traditional fan.
right, the fan that we're speaking to right now, like it's quote unquote not made for us anymore. And I would like to just reject that thought because Star Wars is definitely still made for us. It's just we also want some different things now as we mature our own tastes. But Star Wars is still made for us.
Yeah, and there are so many eras that they could explore with future projects. If you went back to Old Republic stuff and you get the Jedi Sith War, you're gonna have battles like that.
Yeah.
And even within stuff like Andor, where you've got the early days of the Rebellion. Again, we've talked about it in past episodes. The Rebellion is not some goody two shoes type resistance movement. It's dirty. It fights dirty, etc. So yeah, there's plenty of room for exploration with that.
Yeah. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they do with it, and hopefully we get some.
I'm stoked.
New.
I'm just so excited.
Anyway, back to Kenobi real quick. I mean, just sorry for going off world, but yeah, Cal would be sweet to bring into the fold. Like I said, no other real Jedi are going to show up as far as I know or think, because outside of like some Force Ghost or flashbacks, I think we are going to get a little bit of flashback. I don't know if they can get him, and I know he can't actively play him, but if they can get Liam Neeson in there for a couple shots, I think that'd be really cool. And I'm sure Hayden's on the budget, so we're getting some more master and apprentice. Well, I guess not even that, just Jedi Knights probably, between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, and I actually, speaking of Hayden, I just saw something. I think it's rumored or maybe it's confirmed that he's signed on to do something with the Ahsoka show.
Yep.
So that's got to be some sort of flashback, which snips and Anakin in the Clone Wars.
It makes sense.
That'll be cool. So speaking of, this Star Wars isn't for me. This doesn't fit my narrative of Star Wars. We would be remiss if we didn't share or discuss kind of the elephant in the room, I guess, as far as the trailer was concerned. It was really the only negative that came out of the trailer, and it came out within probably an hour of the trailer dropping.
Came out super hard for like
it's still there.
It's still there.
And that is that the Grand Inquisitor does not resemble his Rebels depiction / the similar live action depiction of, I think it's the Paun. I'm totally butchering that.
From
his race.
Yeah, from the Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, and
Well, actually,
it was Revenge of the Sith.
Sorry. Yeah.
And so it's ironically it's the people that Kenobi visit before Cody shoots him off.
While Order 66 is going on.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. A little interesting connection there. So we've kind of talked briefly, not so much about our thoughts on the matter, but the trailer as a whole. So I'm curious to get your view or your thoughts on and I'm going to use air quotes here, the controversy as a whole, and what your view on the depiction is.
Oh, you want my thoughts on the depiction of
Yes.
Grand Inquisitor?
Yes.
What do you want me to say?
I don't. Well, if you think it's okay, it's your
You
opinion.
just want me to go?
It's
You
your
just want me to go
opinion
right now.
It's your opinion.
All right. Did they get it right? Meh. Not really. Could have done better. I'd agree with all those comments online. They could have done better. Are they done with him? Maybe not. We don't know yet. Have to wait till it gets released. There's still editing, obviously, to do. And seeing some of the fan backlash that they've gotten on it, I hope they do something with it, because it's just going to be a distraction from the actual show if people are that unhappy about it. Similar to what everyone did with Sonic the first time we saw Sonic.
Yes.
Like, they went back and rehashed it and made him look a lot better than what he originally was. Now, that being said, do we know who it is immediately? Yes. Which means they didn't do that bad of a job, because you knew exactly who it was. Mm-hmm. And that's my opinion. Like, if I know immediately who a character is, they obviously didn't do that bad. Could they have done better? Sure. Will they? Still to be seen. And that's it. Other than that, get over it. I'm ready for a great Kenobi show, like with hopefully a lot of action, a lot of good plot points, overall just a good story. Like, that's all I want at this point. Like, I'm happy. And to be honest, like, I say this a lot, but like, just let everyone enjoy things the way they want to enjoy things. Like, it's not hard to let other people just be happy. If you're not happy with it, that's fine. You can put your opinion out there, right? But then if somebody says, oh, I didn't mind it, well, don't berate them for it.
Don't tear them down
Like,
for it.
It's their opinion the same as yours. And yeah, sorry they don't share the same opinion, but it's still their opinion versus yours, and both can be right. It's okay for both to be right. That's my take on everything for Star Wars recently.
That's just a blanket.
Yeah,
that's just like a generalized blanket statement.
Just please let people, like, you can be passionate about it and hate it. That's fine, because it means you care about it and you want it to be better. I understand that viewpoint too. But if somebody says, I really enjoyed something, don't tear them down for enjoying something differently than you. Just let them have it. Just let them have it. There's no reason to do anything more with it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the desire to want, Disney, who at this point is the what's the word? They are ushering Star Wars forward, right? So we are going to expect them to.
They're the provider,
right?
Like, they are.
We're going to hold them presumably to the same standard that we would expect Lucasfilm / 20th Century Fox when when George ran it to do. And obviously there's a difference between when George ran it and now with Disney running it. And so there's going to be some differences. And the thing that I don't understand the most is that I don't know how it detracts from the story. Like, visually, okay, it was the same thing with the Leikus of Ahsoka. It's the same thing with Cad's depiction in Book of Boba. And so my thought on it pretty much universally is, does it detract from the story? And if the answer is no, like if the appearance, or if the change in appearance or the difference in appearance does not affect the story, does not affect how the characters interact, it doesn't affect anything from a story perspective, as long as it's, I'm not saying, it's not even close.
Right.
But if it's close, if like you said, if you look at the character, yep, that's who that is. I know who that is. Is it worth getting so upset about?
Yeah.
Yes, it's fine to demand specific things, certain standards.
Yeah.
From Disney, or from anything. This goes for anything, any fandom. This could be Marvel, DC. As fans, we expect certain things. We expect certain standards, and that is perfectly fine. But like you said, to eviscerate somebody online because, well, you can sit behind a keyboard and not have any repercussions for it, but because they don't see a problem with it, or they do, vice versa, then that's the problem. And there's recently, especially within the Star Wars fandom, we are really good at hating each other.
Yeah.
The same thing went for the sequel trilogy.
Just I just want to interject one thing there because
Yes.
yeah, I mean you're on a roll, and I fully agree with a lot of it. Right? We just got done talking about how epic that Kenobi trailer was, and how much we enjoyed it, and how much we're excited for it. And all anyone's talking about is a freaking forehead.
Because he doesn't look like Beldar from the Coneheads.
Like one forehead is what we were picking at. If that's the one complaint I have about this show, if the rest of it ends up being epic and this one character just didn't look quite the way I thought he should, if that's your one gripe, we are winning. Like we are winning. But then again, that same person's going to be like, they'll find something else wrong. It's fine.
Right.
Which is also fair. You can probably find it. But I'm just saying, like, if you go into it trying to find stuff you're going to hate, you'll find it.
You will
find
definitely
stuff.
find it.
Or you can just sit down on your couch and enjoy the show and just enjoy it.
Or not.
Or not.
Or not.
You don't have to enjoy it.
If you genuinely don't enjoy it, that's fine too.
I just can't imagine a Star Wars fan that's been waiting for a Kenobi story for 20 years not being excited about this show.
I mean, it's funny because you got your Book of Boba show, and Boba is maybe it didn't go as you were hoping, but Boba's your favorite character,
and I still enjoyed the show.
Right?
Did I want something a little different? Sure. Might we still get something different? Absolutely. So like, there's still time.
Right.
Like I'm still holding out hope. There's still time. But yeah, I got my Boba show,
And now I'm getting my Kenobi show.
Kenobi.
You know, I mean, Ewan as Obi-Wan is my favorite character, bar none.
Ever.
I mean, he is.
Forget just Star Wars. Ever. That's it.
So as you've slowly collected Jeremy Bullock signatures, I have slowly amassed Ewan McGregor signatures. So I'm over the moon excited for the show. I wish it was longer than 6 episodes. I saw somebody ask a question on Twitter about, would you want a season 2? And their perspective was, no, it doesn't make any sense. And I thought, well, if the story necessitates it, like it's not just thrown in for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, they're also connecting dots. Like they have to stay within the written laws of what's come before them already.
Correct. I mean, yeah, you're sandwiched between two hard stops, and so with a few cartoons thrown in between, and movies, I guess, for that matter. And so, but if there was a reason to expand upon it, then I would be, that would be okay. I'd be okay with that. But I don't want it to be forced. And so the trailer was awesome. Yes, there's the controversy. And then the most recent news that came out, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, was about Darth Maul supposedly being in the script originally. And there's been talk about how the original script was really bleak and like down, which frankly it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really dark time
he's stuck
in the
on
galaxies.
Tatooine,
Well, just in general.
And he can't be a Jedi. Like he can't be himself.
Correct. I mean, so it really does need to be dark, and sort of demoralizing. And obviously the trailer leads there to believe that there is hope, which obviously we all know about the New Hope and everything like that. And so, but the some of the news that came out over the weekend, or just prior to the weekend, was that Maul was supposed to be in it originally, and then they rewrote it to have it be Anakin. And so
it would have been sweet with Maul, though.
It would have been,
depending on what the story is,
right?
And also, what would he? I mean, we all know that during the cartoons he was hunting Kenobi. Like he wanted Kenobi at all times. He wanted to find a Kenobi. So while I can appreciate that and understand it, it also would be really forced and sandwiched, because we know what happens to him when he finds Kenobi at the end. So why would you have to add him in again? I don't know, for flashbacks,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you build that story you build that story on planets outside of Tatooine and have it, like you said, not feel rushed or forced, or worse, retcon
something else.
Retcon Rebels.
Right.
Retcon that episode from Rebels into making, oh, hey, they meet 5 years earlier and there's a fight, and oh, he happens to just kind of loop back around, down the road. And the fact is, if Maul finds Kenobi, wouldn't he go and turn him in? Well, maybe not. I don't know. Wouldn't he maybe help? Well, no, because he would want him for himself.
Exactly.
But I'm
and
not.
Maul would still be an enemy of the state also there. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset that Maul was removed. And again, if you are, that's cool. I understand. Maybe you didn't know about the news and this is the first time you're hearing about it. But
Obi-Sean, sorry, bringing it up.
Yeah, my bad.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, don't get angry in the car wherever you're listening. So, but the idea that Obi-Wan will be hunted or at least haunted by Anakin, I feel like makes more sense than being hunted by Maul.
Imagine the emotional.
It was his biggest
damage.
failure.
Yeah.
Or his perceived biggest failure.
Emotional damage.
He's in a glass case of emotion surrounded by
He's gonna
sand.
be like, it's gonna hurt, and he's gonna relive the moment that he basically lost his Padawan or his best friend.
Failed him. He failed him as a teacher, failed him as a friend, failed him as a father figure to some extent. And so that emotional toil, I feel like, makes for a better story, at least in a condensed 6-episode timeline.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be great. Oh, so great.
Yes. I think that's pretty much it for the
Kenobi
stuff.
News, yeah.
So the only other stuff we have tonight, we're going to talk about a little bit about the upcoming show.
Oh yeah, we got a good show coming up.
If you're in the St. Louis area, this weekend will be March 27th.
Yep.
Sunday.
From
10 to 4, QuadCon is coming back to the Olympia Athletic and Events Center down off Main Street.
Yeah,
St. Charles.
real close to Main Street.
So if you're, it's a lot of like comic stuff. But last time we were there, they had the lightsaber duelist.
Call it lightsaber. I forget what they.
I forget what they call it, but they had a lightsaber duelist kind of club there. There's usually a cosplay thing going on.
Yeah, cosplay parade goes around.
They usually have video. I think they're bringing back the video game tournaments.
Yeah.
Obviously, with all the restrictions kind of being lifted, making it easier to mingle with people.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
But Jedi John's going to have a couple tables there.
Yeah, a couple tables. Galactic Dads will be out there.
Yep.
We'll be out there, obviously. Repping the Force Dyad. Pretty sweet. It should be a fun day, though. Fun day. Yeah, come see us. Lots of collectibles at the table. There's lots of comic vendors there, like you said.
And I'll have some Lego.
Yeah, some Lego. Black Series figures. I got a buttload of exclusives I need to unload again. So
Black Series or Funkos?
Black Series,
okay.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff going out there. But yeah, it'll be a fun show. Be a really fun show.
Yep, 10 to 4, Sunday, March 27th.
Speaking of the other show that we got coming up, obviously we're only 2 months away from Celebration now.
Yes.
Tickets went on sale last week. So if you missed them again, I'm sorry.
I think there's still some single days available.
Single days are still available.
I think there, as of yesterday
Sunday
morning.
and Thursday.
Yeah, and
I think Saturdays were sold out.
Saturday is sold out. I think as of yesterday morning, I think there might have still even been some Fridays.
Yeah.
But I would imagine those will sell out.
Yeah, there's a short release. 4-day tickets only lasted up there for like an hour because there was a lot of tickets already sold, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of carryover.
So, but really excited to finalize those plans and then see all the new shop gear that's up there now. Like the Celebration store stuff, the pre-order stuff.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we're gonna have plenty of shirts to wear for the convention.
I know.
I put in that merchandise order.
I'm pretty excited about those.
Put in that merchandise order because it's the 20th anniversary of the
I love it.
Clones.
It's one of my favorite. It's not my favorite movie, obviously, but it is one of my favorites just because I really enjoy the clones. So
that Phase 1 clone helmet. So to kind of paint the picture of the logo, it's the 20th anniversary, but then it's layered against the Phase 1 clone trooper helmet, which it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
It just looks cool. It's a cool shirt and logo. So I'm very excited about that.
We're all waiting with bated breath to figure out who is coming.
Guests, lotteries for panels, lotteries for toys,
exclusives.
I'm just staring. I've got the Globy one Funko right over there, along with the blue chrome set from the last 2 celebrations. Can't wait to see what the new ones are this year. I'm excited.
I can't wait. We've got our flights booked. We've got the hotels.
Yep.
We've got the rental cars. And you are being extra insane and going over to Orlando after the fact for a volleyball tournament. But as far as Anaheim is concerned, we're going to Disneyland at least one of the days.
Yeah.
Prior to the show, of course. I don't know if you're planning to bring your little guy to the show outside of the planned family day or not.
We'll see.
I was thinking I might bring my little guy maybe for half day on Saturday. Assuming
A half day would be okay. I just really need to figure out. We need to figure out. I mean, when they announce everything for lotteries and stuff and panels, that way I can plan that time with him. Because I'd love to take him around still, but I need the itinerary, because if it's a day where we don't win a lottery and I need to stand in line at Funko for half my day, which will be disappointing for me, but I will do it because I'm gonna get the exclusive. But yeah, it's gonna be good.
Maybe we can befriend people in that instance where, hey, you got limit 2, I'll pay you 50% over retail for your second one.
Well, the problem is, in like the Funko line at the last convention, it was one per pop.
Oh, it was only one.
It was one per pop, no matter what. Hasbro was 2.
Lego was 2 or 1?
Lego was one of the exclusives
Oh, okay.
per line trip.
Yeah, that con was the Sith Trooper bust, I think.
I think it was Vader. But was Vader a bust? Vader, yeah, it was a Vader.
Oh,
bust.
you're right. It was the Vader bust.
Yeah, it was Vader bust.
Sith Trooper bust was San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, it was a Vader bust, and they it was the first time for sale was it was like a month ahead of everybody else for the
Tantive.
The Tantive.
Yeah. And you got a couple signed by
the creator,
by the designers.
Pretty awesome stuff.
So as we get closer to Celebration, we'll share news and notes.
As
things get announced.
And
Basically,
if any of you are going to be there, we'll set something up. We'll get you on the show. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk to a lot of people that we've never met before there, because there's plenty of podcast people that go to that show. So
I know there's a podcast meetup the Thursday night.
Yeah.
At the Hilton. I think Coffee with Kenobi is
organizing
it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably pop over there.
Should be a lot of fun
and mingle. But yeah, looking forward to doing some live recordings, just meeting people,
a lot of
like
people.
just talking to people. I think that's, I don't know about you, but that's probably the thing I'm most excited about, is just interacting with like fans. You know?
did miss the last.
I did miss the last one. My son was born 2 weeks early, and then we had some stuff after the fact. But so I missed Chicago. But I've been looking forward to this now for nearly 3 years. So I can't wait.
Well, 4 years really, because we knew we were going.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we were going.
Right. But from the time we bought the tickets to the time we're actually going to go is going to be almost 3 years. So my son turns 3 on Friday, so I've been looking forward to it pretty much his entire life. So, but
been waiting your whole life for this.
I have, and I'm excited to take him to Disneyland and take him to Radiator Springs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Galaxy's Edge on the other coast, so that'll be fun. And then, I mean, I won't be seeing Galaxy's Edge in Orlando when I get there, but I will be at Disney for a day.
Right.
So it should be a blast. And I'm really excited eventually to go back to Orlando for the Galaxy's Edge day, because evidently with the new Star Cruiser opening up, they are in costume going down to the park pretty much.
They who?
The customer, the guests, the people that are riding they're on the cruise when they're in Batu for their day in Batu, like they are in costume, in character, doing they're doing their missions and stuff, but they are in costumes. Remember,
Are you thinking you're going to glom on and just like go around and help them?
No, did I tell you that I was like, I know we talked about this on one of the post Disney trips, but like I was hoping for more people, like more Star Wars. I didn't feel like it was Star Wars. I think this is it. So I want to go back now where there's people walking around that look like Star Wars citizens, so to speak, that are at Black Spire, like doing their own thing in the background, just adding to the environment of Star Wars. So yeah, seeing some of those pictures and seeing how many people are out there. I mean, 100 plus people that are in the park dressed up in their character, whatever they're in, because they're the only people that are allowed to walk in as adults in costume.
That's right.
Outside of cast members. So I'm excited to see what's changed now and that environment vibe.
Well, especially with as things are relaxed,
Oh yeah.
Are the cast members able to interact more, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, before the Star Cruiser went live, all the mandates disappeared. All of them.
Yeah, you're right up next to people on the Starship, which you need to be for. We talked about that last episode. You need to be able to mingle. to enjoy
That's
that
the whole
experience.
point. Yeah, but no, very excited to see the difference. But I won't be seeing it this trip, so
No.
I'll have to wait. Can't wait. We got a busy couple months.
Mm-hmm.
We got a busy couple months.
Super busy. Lots of planning. Lots of fun episodes coming in the pipeline too.
Oh yeah, got
So-
lots of good stuff prior to Kenobi launching. So keep it here. Keep the dial right here.
Yeah. So as we come to a close on this episode, we want to thank you all for listening. Be sure to check us out on our social pages. They'll be in the show notes. Feel free to share this episode if you're so inclined and you enjoy the content. And until next time.
May the Force be with you.